Yeah,
Like you don't fucking know what you're gonna do before you get there. Like,
yeah. Like you'd like to imagine that you'd be all brave and sturdy,
yeah,
be like, fuck it, I don't need the mask. If you're gonna
like to,
kill
yeah,
me looking into the whites of my eyes. You like to think you'd say that, but you'd actually be shitting yourself.
or, yeah, you could be the one shitting yourself, and then someone who thinks they're an absolute coward could be the one who's like, I'm gonna fucking stare you down.
That's true, yeah.
You just
Little
don't know.
exactly. Like fucking little like Nelson from HR could just like you'd just be like, fuck you. If you're gonna kill me, you better look at me. Say my name.
Fucking Nelson from HR, I'd fucking torture him to
Nelson
death.
from HR.
I'm not fucking putting a bullet in his head. I'm fucking, I don't know, fucking crushing every fucking metatarsal.
Nelson Metz from fucking IT gets put up against a firing squad for being 1/16th Jewish.
And then look at him and he goes,
He goes, heh heh. Nelson Mutt's like, okay, like if you had to commit a genocide against members of The Simpsons,
hmm,
who would it be and why?
a
Who would you put up? Who
genocide
would you put
against
up?
members of The Simpsons.
Who would you put
That
up against a
kind of
stone
means
wall?
that
The
means I
fucking
kill everyone, every member of The Simpsons.
you put all the members of The Simpsons up against a stone wall and set an MG42 on them.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, that's what they
Any
did in
anyone
the
with yellow skin, bang.
in the liberation of Dachau,
I
right?
love you, Apu.
They fucking yeah, everyone except Apu because Apu's already a brown. He's a brown man. He doesn't need any more
Wait, wasn't there there's one
oppression.
that's like that grayish color too? Who's he?
The grey boy.
He's like a bluey, like a. Okay, I'm looking at what Simpsons characters aren't yellow.
The fucking American ones aren't yellow.
I'm pretty sure the reason like they're all yellow is, well, I know it's partly to capture Thingo. Okay, Carl, Dr. Hibbert, Old Jewish Man, Krusty, Blue Singer, Bumblebee Man.
Oh yeah, Dr.
Krusty,
Hibbert is brown.
Krusty's got yellow skin. He's just wearing a face mask. Just look at his arms.
Yeah, his arms are yellow.
Blue Singer, Bumblebee Man, two twin sisters in Bart's class.
Oh, Bumblebee
That's
Man
all.
is white. It's like brownish.
Apu and his family. Crazy Cat Lady, Bleeding Gums Murphy, The Aliens, Itchy, Scratchy, Poochie, Santy's Little Helper, Snowball 1 through 5. 5 renamed back to 2.
Oh, the dogs don't count. That's stretch. That's pushing it.
They do.
Counting the
Bumblebee Man,
animals,
Apu's
people.
brother,
You
Boobarella
said
and Angela.
people who aren't yellow. Oh, you
Dredrick
said
Tatum,
characters.
Blinky, Mr. Teeny, Spiny Pig, Spider Pig,
Slimy pig.
Spider Pig.
Come on, we're not talking about the Chinese and the Korean War. So no need to call them slimy pigs. They didn't fire a rifle at you. Come on.
They fired a rifle at my spiritual.
Your spirit animal.
Yeah.
I wonder what your spirit animal is. We know you're a Libra. You're a fucking saucy
Some fucking
Libra,
red
but
dragon.
you're fucking dragon. I don't know. I think you're like
It's Idragoch.
you're probably like a sloth or something.
Me? Fuck you.
Can't
Come
lazy.
on. Come on. As everyone knows, fucking sleep all the time and stretch a lot. I'm a fucking cat.
You're a cat. You are a cat. Catty.
Also, I'm a bastard. Like fucking makes fun of everyone all the time. I'm
That's so true. Cats
definitely
always just wave their assholes at people. They don't care.
I'm literally a cat. There's no way around it.
Oh.
You're like
so
a
catty.
really, really jaded dog.
Like a mongrel.
You're like a super jaded mastiff. Like you're just a really big dog, but you're fucking over it, you know?
That's funny because like saying a dog is jaded. Like what do they have to do to be jaded? They're just normal. They do nothing. Do nothing all day. It's not like they have a series of failures in their lives to make them jaded.
You don't know. They could have been like a fucking pit dog.
Yeah, just like I was a sheepdog, but I lost my position because of my alcoholism. They're a fucking dog.
Look,
It's
at
not
least
gonna happen.
everyone's dog's not like a fucking methadone addict like yours.
My dog is a. Oh my god, when he sees humans, his eyes just don't want to burst out of his head like it's a like he's in Looney Tunes or something.
Yeah, he looks like something you'd see in fucking Bedlam.
Yeah, he's nuts.
He goes spectating, and there he is with his eyes like,
Yeah,
like
you're gonna go full gamer and just be
fuck.
like, you go spectator mode. That's what you do when you game. You go into, you go into spectator mode and you try to learn from the other players.
Fuck,
You
do
go to
I?
beautiful mind. Yeah, you go into spectator mode in Call of Duty and you try to build patterns
Jesus.
that would that would let you win. It's like counting cards and blackjack, but
I'm
virgins.
actually terrible at multiplayer games. I will freely admit that.
Yeah, I'm not great at it either.
Like, I actually suck.
Yeah, I never play it because I'm just not willing to put into the time
Yeah,
to
into
get good at something like
learning.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like well, I'll just do something more productive, something where I can actually witness the fruits of my labor. Unlike
Yeah, if I
video
wanted
games
to
where
be
it's
good at
pointless.
the strategy game that I want to be good at is like fucking an actual war.
In actual war, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't really care about a fake war
Thank God there are
in a
nuclear
creative
weapons.
assembly game.
What a waste of time. Didn't like one of the Assassin's Creeds have a multiplayer?
Yeah,
Isn't that
everyone
ridiculous?
everyone after Brotherhood I think has a multiplayer.
Why? Wasn't the point like okay, I'd never played it, but the point was you were like pretending you weren't someone? Like, and one person would just pretend to be like mingle in with the crowd, and one person would be like an assassin.
Yeah,
What,
like
why is that fun?
which on paper sounds good.
Yeah.
The problem is because they had like these limited rosters of assassins, right? And like, let's face it, the assassins' costumes not that historical. Um,
I guess. No, I just want.
the fucking
Assassin's Creed's
like
awesome.
moving through those environments, right? Just wasn't that interesting? Like, it wasn't that sneaky.
Imagine Assassin's Creed Vietnam War. When
What, you
it was
play
just
as the
like
white
swinging in the
feather?
trees.
Yeah, you just play as the white feather
Yeah. That'd be sick, actually.
or a tunnel rat. It'd be fun to do like a tunnel rat.
I think it'd actually just be fun to like hide in the trees and just like drop down on people. Fucking put an M1911 in the head.
Yeah. Which side do you think you would be on? Do you think you'd
That's
be
actually a good question because you'd think it would be the Viet Cong, but you'd have to be in
maybe the
America.
communists or the Templars?
Yeah, exactly. Well, isn't there like a game where essentially you are like the bad guy?
At the
Well, the
start.
Templars are the bad guys, aren't they? In
Yeah.
history, sort of.
No, not really.
Are you saying that you enjoy the persecution of innocent Muslims, Jake?
No, I
Are
just
you
don't
saying
enjoy
that?
the persecution of innocent Christians by Muslim occupiers, which is the bit
Oh,
that no one talks about in the Crusades. Like,
but they're the
hmm,
innocent
how
ones.
how did these historically Christian lands become very Muslim very quickly? It wouldn't happen to have anything to do with all those guys on camels riding around with swords, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not them. You know the guys going.
I love the story about uh Peter O'Toole in Lawrence of Arabia when he went on the camel scene. Like there's this interview where Peter O'Toole is just like, I was once riding a I don't actually he doesn't has an English accent, but it's very hard to do. I was once riding a camel in Lawrence of Arabia, and they said I had a messianic expression on the camel. And I thought, and they tells the story behind it. And the story goes that he was so fucking scared of riding on the camel, he just got blind drunk. And that messianic expression is the drunk dude on a camel.
Okay, that's hilarious.
They have a lot of good stories like that, man. That's why I wanted to do a whole pod on them. And I wrote a massive script on them. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I feel like they'll just pop
I
up
can remember being
randomly.
blind drunk hopping a fence.
Oh, that was a great time.
That was a great time. The fuck?
Back
Why didn't we
before the
talk
old
about
Rona.
that on the podcast?
I tore my pants.
Oh, I mean, like it's gonna come up on the podcast at some point.
I tore my pants. Probably. It'll probably come up when we're telling our grandchildren. of that time when we met the Führer when we were younger. When I was a child, I used to be friends with the Führer. Yes, we go on many drunken exploits. It was excellent. Now he doesn't talk to me much anymore. He's a big shot. But which one will it be? Only time will tell.
He doesn't really talk to anyone.
Sorry.
Kind of missing his head.
He said.
He's lost his mind.
He's lost his raving.
I was talking about him putting a bullet through his brain.
Wow, you've actually gone insane.
He's lost his mind.
Lost his mind a long time. Why am I
I lost my
recording
mind.
this?
I lost my mind a long time ago.
I lost my
I spent
mind
a
a
lot of
long
time
time
being
ago.
very, very insane. Then I got bored of that. So
If you do that in a Bane voice, that's believable Bane dialogue. Or Joker voice. That's
it's
believable
actually
Joker
from
dialogue as
Ben
well.
10.
Ben 10. Fucking
It
Ben
is.
10.
It's
Ben
literally from
10's
Ben 10.
grandfather says that to him as a fucking nursery rhyme. Don't give me
There was like some guy called Dr. Paradox, I think, or Professor Paradox.
Oh, Professor Paradox.
Time traveler. It was actually a pretty nifty episode. It was some pretty good ideas.
It's a pretty good episode. It's not my favorite episode of Ben 10, but it's a pretty nifty episode.
It was a pretty nifty episode. I was like 13. I don't know. Like, I think it was pretty good, but I might watch it back like later in my life and just go, well, that was.
I like it
funny.
how it left that good of an impression on you. You remember it to this day.
Oh, I remember it because there was a weeping angel in the background.
Oh, from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The only real stuff I remember is I remember just the weird stuff. Like I remember episodes of going around the twist because they were just so warped and, and odd.
You don't forget that.
You don't forget it because it's like this is a kid's show. It's so
This-
warped. He pees on a tree and gets it pregnant. How can you
Yeah,
forget that?
or he wins a race because he has a fish in his cock.
Yeah, like he's a fish from somebody's urethra. And he wins the swimming race.
This is the kind of shit that Americans will just never understand.
Like what? What?
There is actually, now that I think about it, there is an entire young generation of Australians growing up that probably do not know what Round the Twist is.
Oh, nowadays certainly they probably don't. They do you think kids nowadays actually watch TV, man? No, they just fucking watch Fortnite on their iPads.
Yeah, but like,
They don't watch TV.
But are they even Australian?
No, they're just Americans. The next generation is just little Americans.
Fucking just put them down. I don't want any
Yes.
more of those fucking steppo cunts.
I just wipe them out.
Just get rid of them.
No, Australia's going to be a dead identity in a few years.
Hmm?
I believe that as like a realist.
Yeah.
It's not going to be because when you look at the youth and what they're watching nowadays, it's just all American content. They're going to start using American idioms, and it's just going to get more and more
It's just
bastardized.
well, it's just because we honestly, Australia never put that much effort into actually figuring out who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
It's like we never actually defined what being Australian is properly. So our identity is like going, and it's been going for a long time. It's like how there's no real Australian movies made anymore.
No, it's not.
So
Except for Neighbours.
Neighbours.
Homegrown.
Fucking Toady.
Toady. Fucking Neighbours. That's what we got. We got Neighbours. You never take that from us.
Never take
I
it
love
away.
Friendly Geordies.
It's mostly watched by middle-aged English women.
It's mostly watched by men in prisons.
That too.
Fucking death row for child murder. We don't even have death row.
Oh no, Toady.
Oh no, Tony murdered a child.
It's a guy with like a sick handlebar mustache, one ear, and a tracheotomy.
It's as Toady since Neighbours has been going on for so long, right? Every character's done something that's kind of fucked. I wonder what Toadie's done. Because on a long
Drama.
enough timeline, everyone's done everything on Neighbours.
Drama.
Drama. I wonder
Fucking
who's gonna make it. Who's gonna be
imagine a,
Hollywood's next big star of Neighbours?
imagine a fucking neighbors. Imagine a fucking neighbors Wikipedia wiki page, right? You know, like those fandom wikis.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the one looking like Toady. It'd be like fucking. Each one would be like fucking hundreds of thousands of words because these characters have just been on these shows for so long.
Who is that other guy with the sort of? I don't know how to describe him because I didn't know his face, but he's got this sort of. He's older. He's black hair, short black hair. He's a sort of roguish character.
I can safely say that the only neighbors character that I actually know is Toady
Well, let's just look
because
it
I
up,
have
man.
never actually watched Neighbors.
Well, mm, okay, no, I don't believe you. Everyone's watched Neighbours, and it's not because you're actively trying to watch Neighbours. It's just because it's on before what you're actually trying to watch
Or after it.
or
Wasn't
after.
didn't it
And
used to be on after The Simpsons?
there's, yeah, it was, yeah. I remember that. That's why I used to go to bed at like 7 o'clock because
But
I'd be like,
I
oh,
only
Simpsons
well, I
over.
think I only remember like Toady. One of the reasons why I only remember Toady is because I think he was in like
Who's a
one of
father
the
figure for you?
no, like the first few scenes of the title sequence.
Well,
So
the title sequence keeps fucking changing because he's changing the cast.
but I like at that no back in those days. So like it was like you would hear you'd hear like the start of it. The other thing from Neighbours that I remember is like the last bit of the opening sequence. You know,
Mm.
when good neighbors become good
Good friends. It's
friends.
unforgettable. Oh yeah, so that
It's
guy
fucking
is called
fucking
on the show.
brilliant.
He's called Paul Robinson, and in real life, he's called Stefan Dennis. He's the first person that comes up when you type up neighbors.
It
And I
just
remember he would always be like the sort of rogue character.
who's next, Toady?
No, next is like the fucking the bitch with the red hair, the Susan Kennedy.
Who the fuck's that?
I don't know.
I just know Toady. Like I don't
Yeah, I
even know.
just know Toady. Yeah, I know. It's like you look up their faces and you know
Oh,
who
I'm
these people
sure.
are.
I'm
You don't know
sure.
their names.
I
Like
know them.
I know all these
I've
people's faces.
definitely
I just don't
seen
know
them
their
in
names.
passing.
Yeah, you've probably seen them at fucking Woolies, and
No,
it's filmed in
where
Melbourne.
is it? Is it filmed in Melbourne?
Melbourne, yeah, on Erinsborough, Australia,
Yeah,
Ramsay
good thing
Street.
I never lived in Melbourne.
Hmm.
I love how I say I'm from Victoria and people do like this. Is such a fucking city person thing to do. They go, "Oh, you're from Melbourne, then?" It's like,
Yeah.
no, actually, I'm from the place where the most of the people in Victoria live, not Melbourne.
If you had to, okay, so I'm just going to give you a hypothetical. You have to. Toady wants to move on. The actor that fuck it, he's just Toady. The actor that plays Toady, his name, he should change his name in real life to Toady because it's what people know him as. Right? He
Yeah,
wants to move on. He wants to do
he's
different projects. He wants to do
fucked
Broadway.
nowadays.
Like he wants to do Broadway.
Hmm.
Okay, how do you kill Toady off? How do you do it? Because
Uh,
I
I'd
would
go.
do it.
For,
I'd make
I'd go for the classic car
carbon
crash.
dioxide insulation. So
The classic death. Yeah, the classic death is there's a fire or a car crash, right? That's like the home and away / neighbors go to.
my favorite one is the suicide by smoke, carbon dioxide inhalation. With like
like
close the garage door, and the car running.
that's like that one always freaks me out, right? Because it's like this.
Slow death.
Yeah, but it's such a slow death. Like
It's so slow.
the absurd patience needed to do that is
I
just
know. It's over hours and hours. You die.
Like you have to be determined. At that point, you're basically one of those Japanese monks who mummifies themselves. Like
No, you're
you're
basically
like,
a fucking kamikaze pilot. Like
no,
you own
because the
it.
kamikaze, right? He just points it at the ship and then hits it and blows up.
That's
He
true.
doesn't
You
have to
don't have
fucking.
time to think. You don't have time to regret. Yeah.
No, this guy is like the guy who's killing himself with carbon monoxide poisoning is absurdly dedicated to offing himself. Like the fucker is trying to
The
fucking.
ancient Japanese warriors used to kill themselves. They just leave the fucking Toyota on in the garage.
Yeah,
When the enemy conquered their castle, they
they just
just
leave their. They just sit in their Mazda Bongo and just fucking.
the Mazda Bongo is the car Jack wants
It is
more than
actually.
anything in the
It is
world.
actually the car that I want. It looks
I've
awesome.
never actually Googled this. You brought it up so many times. Is it was a Bongo 3000?
Mazda Bongo 1000.
Mazda Bongo F1000. Oh my
The
lord.
original ones, not the new one.
That's hot actually.
It is an awesome car.
That's actually really cool. I imagine
Yeah,
that would be a classic.
it should be, but it's not here.
I see some of them like pinstriping, which usually tends to identify a classic car.
I
Dude,
just
that's awesome.
random I just randomly saw one in like the street when I was out with Gray.
Yeah.
Like we're walking past with our fish and chips, and we're going down to a park that sit down. I just looked over and I was like, that whatever the fuck that is the car that
That's
I
what I
want.
want.
And she
That's what I
looks
want
at
people to
it
see
and
me
she
as.
goes, I said, and she's like, what is it? I was like, a van. And she said, "You're not getting a van." I said, look at the van. She looked at the van. She goes, no, that car is actually really awesome. Like that's everyone's response. Everyone's
It's
response.
awesome. It's like a combi. It's like this is a Japanese combi.
Yeah, it's like a tiny Japanese combi. It's amazing. It's also like a little fucking. It's like a fucking
Can you
trapezium on wheels. It's
can you buy
ridiculous.
one? Can you fucking get one?
I'm pretty sure you can, but
Let's see
they
if it's for sale.
they weren't really imported to Australia, so I don't think they're that common.
Oh, but that also means that it could be super cheap to get in Japan.
Hmm.
It's probably really cheap.
Car sale Mazda Bongo 1000 manual, 1600 to 3600. It's got a 4-speed manual transmission. Whoa!
Oh,
Fucking floor in this thing.
that's a sick car.
The fart box. It's amazing. They're so cool looking too.
I genuinely want you to get one.
I do. I seriously do want to get one.
But the only problem is it would break down, right? But it's probably how hard is it going to be to fix?
Probably it's Japanese cars. Probably
It's Japanese, like,
super easy.
and also it's this car is not from the age of like computers or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
Like what's
just
gonna
any
go wrong
part.
with it?
I mean, you got the engine block, you've got all this stuff, but it's probably all replaceable.
And
And
like if you
you can
saw a
fit a
car,
different part in it.
let's face it, if you saw a car like this, you can't help but smile. That car, it's just a cute car.
It's a dream car. Yeah, I love how that's your
Great.
dream car. It's a Mazda Bongo 1000.
It's great. It just looks like something out of like a Sid Mead sketch.
Yeah, it's like something from Moonrise Kingdom,
Oh,
Grand
fucking
Budapest Hotel. Wes Anderson.
yeah.
It's like
It
something from
does
fucking
look like
Wes
a Wes
Anderson
Anderson
movie.
movie.
It's like that's like what he films all his movies from. He just sticks a camera in the back of that, opens up the tailgate, and just films everything. Dude, this is awesome. Top 10 classic cars at the Mazda Museum. Apparently, it's a classic.
It is a classic,
Oh no, Jack.
but it's not like an expensive classic. It's like $3,500.
That's so affordable.
Yeah, it's because they're not. It's because while they are a classic, they aren't a classic here because they
Mm.
never were like famous here. Vans never really caught on here. You know, you don't really need a roof when your country tries to fucking kill itself by not drinking water for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope you find one day.
Yeah, like definitely. I'm gonna pick one up at some point in my life because it's just a cool car.
Yeah. Like it's like a love story. You just made eyes from across the room. You want a Bongo 1000?
Seriously, that is almost exactly what happened. I
You're
was like
just like,
literally
yes.
just walking past with the fucking chips. And I literally turned around and I was like, that is a cool looking car. I like that car. That car is great.
I fucking love it, man. And I'm seeing some that are like done up and they look fucking awesome. Wow. What a cool little car.
Yeah, everyone is like, someone's like, that sounds, it's the kind of car where everyone's like, that sounds ridiculous until they actually look at the car and then they're like, actually, no,
Why
that
is it
car,
called a bongo?
I don't know, ask the Japanese.
It's the most ridiculous I've ever fucking heard in my life.
I'm pretty sure the line is still going, the Bongo line. So there's still cars called Bongos.
Japan Mazda Bongo. Maybe get a newer one.
Oh, the new
Oh,
ones
they're
look
disgusting.
terrible. Terrible.
That's so gross. They have none of the old aesthetic.